Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the HTML tutorial. In this episode I'm gonna go through these tags. So I'm gonna go through the heading elements, the head element, the header element, H group, HR and HTML. And we might even have time for a few more tags. So yeah, let's see. Anyways, let's get going. So the first one is gonna be the H1 through H6. So let's create an H1 heading. This is an H1 heading, and these are usually used to name the website or something. Then we have H2. All the headings under the H1 are like subheadings. So these are headings, but these are not gonna be the main headings. So for example, this is an H2 subheading. Alright. So for example, between different chapters we could use an H2 element. Then H3. Inside of the chapter we could use the H3. Alright. Then inside of the chapters, if there is some small details, we can use the H4 and H5 and even H6. So yeah, it gets pretty small, as you can see. Of course, these can be adjusted with CSS and styled however you want to, but this is the default look, so yeah. Alright. So the heading elements have been gone through. Then we got the head element. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what the head element is. So the head element is this one right over here. The head element basically contains everything that is not shown on the web page, but is important for the web page. For example, this line declares that this website is using the character set called UTF-8. This is used for making the site look better at mobile devices. Then the title is used to set the title of the website. And then there's the link element, and with this we can link in some CSS style sheets like we have done here. We can also link to an API, Google Fonts, all kinds of stuff. Alright, so yeah, that's the head element. It basically contains all the metadata for the document. So none of these are shown on the web page, except maybe for the title, I guess. Well, it's the title, technically it's not in the web page. But these are very important for the functionality of the web page. Alright, so the head element has been gone through. Then we have the header. I'm gonna create a simple nav bar. I'm gonna add an HR horizontal rule. By the way, HR is horizontal rule. So with that we can add a line to the website. So we have gone over that one as well. Let's remove it. Okay, I'm gonna create a simple header. So headers are usually used to style the top of your page. let's say that my header will be having a navigation bar inside of it. And then that will be an unordered list. There we go. And the link one, href. Alright. Then I'm gonna copy this line a few times. Link 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I'm gonna add a class to this. This is gonna be my navigation list. Alright. Then, let's wrap this up in a div section. Class header dash left. Or actually, I'm gonna make it the right. Alright. Then I'm gonna cut this and put it inside of there. So basically what I'm gonna do right now is create the header. The width will be 100%, height 72 pixels, background color, let's say light blue. So we got the header, also margin 0. I better get the body element, margin 0, there we go. So now we got the header. It's this one right over here that is highlighted by the blue background color. Then I'm gonna take the... Actually, first I'm gonna create a couple more div elements. Div class header center. Let's add a search bar. Type will be text, placeholder, search. The class will be input. There we go. And then one more div element. Div class header left. And this is gonna be an h1 heading. Example site. There we go. Now you can see that the layout is messed up. So in order to fix that, let's go to the style sheet, and the header is gonna be a flexbox. There we go. Then let's align the items, center, and justify content. Let's say space evenly. Alright, so all of these are different div elements and they are going to be spaced evenly. Alright, we can also declare the flex direction, but by default it's a row. If we want a column, it's gonna look like that. Let's go with the row, however. Default. Alright. After that, I'm gonna take the class of header dash left. The width will be 33.33%. The background color will be pink. Height will be 72 pixels. And it's overflowing. So I'm gonna select header left and get the H1. Font size 16 pixels. 24, 32, 30, 28, 27. 27 pixels is gonna fit. Alright. So now we got the name of the site. I'm gonna make it white. There we go. Then I'm gonna take the header dash center, and in the center we have only a input box. I'm gonna make the width of this that, and height 72 pixels. Alright, and margin top 36 pixels, so we can center the input. Actually, I guess that looks maybe a little bit better. Alright. Then, I'm gonna take the header center and the input. The type of the input is text, and I'm gonna style that. So border 2 pixels solid gray, border radius 10 pixels, padding 5 pixels. Alright, then I'm gonna select, basically I'm gonna take this same line, I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna take the hover pseudo class. First we gotta create a background color, let's say gray. I'm gonna use HSL. What about 90%? That's good, I think. Okay, when we hover over, we are gonna change the lightness to 80%. So there we go. It works. Then I'm gonna copy this. And let's see, does the active pseudo class work on these? I can't remember. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna be using an entirely different pseudo class. That's gonna be the focus pseudo class. I'm not gonna change the background color, but when we focus, we have an outline and orange border. So let's set the outline to none. Okay, there's already a difference. Then we can set the border color, or border, let's say 2 pixels, solid gray. I'm basically just copying this. So there we go. That's pretty good. Then I'm gonna select the header, center, input, type, text, and the placeholder pseudo class. The font size will be 16 pixels. The font weight will be bold. Color will be white or black. There we go. And margin dash left will be 10 pixels. Let's try padding. Alright, so that's how we can move that and style the placeholder. Alright, then I'm gonna style this. So in order to change this, I'm gonna go and set the color black, font size 16 pixels, and font weight bold. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, that's working. Wonderful. So now we got a okay looking search bar. Maybe I could make the placeholder like a little bit gray. I guess that's okay. Alright, then let's move on to the header dash left. The height will be 72 and the width 33.33%. And background color will be pink. Just so I can highlight these. And actually the class is gonna be right this time. Alright. So there we go. I'm gonna open this on a large window. So this is what it looks like now. So yeah. The link elements are overflowing, but let's fix that. So I'm gonna take the class of the navigation list. So dot navigation list, I'm gonna use a display flex, align items, center, and justify content space evenly. So right now we got a layout that looks like this. And by the way, that input box could be centered. Margin 0 auto. No. Margin dash left. I'm gonna say 100 pixels. Alright. That's pretty close. Let's go with 80 pixels. Now it's in the middle. Great. I'm not using the flexbox actually really correctly right now, but that doesn't really matter. Alright. Now we have the links over here. We gotta take the navigation list. The list style type will be none. With this we will remove the list styling. Then I'm gonna take the navigation list and all the list items inside of it. The color is going to be orange. Navigation list and all the anchored items. Alright, so now we got orange links. The font weight will be bold, font size 16. Alright, that's gonna look like that. I'm gonna set the... So this has a flex box, so it will align these div elements. But the inheritance of the flex box doesn't go to these elements. So I should probably add a class. Whatever. DKS, that's my class. I'm gonna copy this class. Alright. And by the way, elements can have many classes, and we can also input the class name inside of the same attribute like this. There we go. And then I'm gonna take this one and DKS. Okay. So it will the inheritance of the flex box will reach the list elements, and I guess that's enough. If I'm not completely mistaken, let's get the DKS display flex, align items, center, justify content, center. Okay, now the site is looking a little bit better. Alright, wonderful. So basically we applied the flexbox to all of the left section, the middle section, the right section, because when we apply it to the header, it's only going to be inherited to the child element, which is this div. So basically the h1 is gonna use the flexbox, but when we create some more elements over here, they will not be aligned together. So this one would not be aligned with this one, and this one would not be aligned with these. So yeah. Okay, well, looks like I got stuck on the header for quite a while, but here we got a basic header. I'm gonna take the navigation list A when we hover. Let's use HSL. I'm gonna change the color to the same one but reduce lightness by 10%. Text decoration will be none. And when we hover, text decoration underline. So it will look like this. I'm gonna go to the dev tools. Alright. Maybe I'm gonna take one of the list items. I'm gonna add some margin to the left and right. So navigation list and the list items, margin 10 pixels, 0 pixels. Let's say 50 pixels. Okay. What about 25? Oh yeah, but I made a mistake. That's the top and bottom. This is the right and left. Alright, now it looks good. So yeah. Okay, then let's go and... well, I guess that's gonna be my example of the header. So yeah, we did a lot of CSS styling, and yeah, we wrote a total of 78 lines of CSS code. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for the header element. I'm gonna be creating the example website later on, so you are going to learn a lot from that. Alright, now I'm gonna delete the header element that we just spent a long time working on. Okay, and these styles. There we go. Next we have the H group. So the H group, first of all, it's going to require a closing tag. The H group element is used to mark that the heading and the paragraph are related. Let's say H2 example heading example paragraph. Okay, so what we can do is just this. So basically what this tells to the computer is that the H group elements marks that the heading and the paragraph are related to one another. So the H group tag is used to surround a heading and one or more paragraph elements. And the heading inside of the H group element can be any of the H1 to H6 headings. And the H group element doesn't render as anything special in the browser, as you can see. However, we can of course change this with CSS. We can take the H group element, we can add a class, ID, etc. And then we can style this element. Let's take H group border 2 pixels solid. There's our H group. So yeah, alright, that's gonna be it for that tag. Let's go to the last one, which is gonna be the HTML. And I'm not really gonna make this video any more longer, so I'm gonna go through the HTML tag and then I'm gonna continue on in the next one. So let's see what the HTML tag is all about. I think you got a pretty good idea already. So, in the beginning of our document, we declare that this is going to be a doctype HTML. It tells the browser that this document is an HTML5 document. Then we create the HTML tag. So that starts the entire HTML of the page. Okay, I have one attribute here, the language, which is set to English. Okay, so the HTML is gonna be right after the doctype HTML. Alright, and then the closing tag, that's always gonna be the last element on an HTML document. So yeah, I hope you were able to learn something new from this episode, especially from my header styling. And yeah, I hope I'm gonna see you in the next one as well, and I wish happy learning to everyone. So yeah, see you later everybody, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.